Let's face it, British politics is broken. MPs on all sides are reviled like never before. And don't think the upcoming election will make a big difference. As the major parties slug it out, it's the English electorate, as ever, that will be losing out. We're all concerned about the pound in our pocket and the soaring debt of our country. So now is the right time to consider financial devolution. At present, public spending in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland is far higher than it is in England. The English are subsidising the Scots, who have smaller school classroom sizes, shorter hospital waiting times and access to free, potentially life-saving drugs. Around £33 billion a year is diverted into Scotland. It's part of what's called the Barnett Formula, a deal that was signed into law here in Westminster over 30 years ago to bring public services in Scotland up to the standard of those in England. The English Democrats think that that £33 billion should be reallocated to English regions that are in desperate need of funding. The Welsh Assembly has passed a law so that nobody in Wales has to pay for prescriptions. The Scottish Parliament is passing a similar law. In England, we have to pay for our prescriptions. It just doesn't make sense, and it's always the English who get the raw deal. That's because no one is standing up for us. So we're proposing the creation of an English Parliament, with a First Minister and a government of English MPs elected to make decisions on English matters. Each devolved Parliament in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland would then have responsibility for their own taxation and expenditure. That would mean huge savings for the English taxpayer and a substantial amount of money to invest in our own public services. Here are some of the other sensible money-saving measures that we're proposing. The abolition of expensive regional bodies in England. An end to the unaccountable quangos that have multiplied under the current government. And the withdrawal of the money that pays for politically correct pressure groups. They're clearly politically motivated, but they're funded by us, the taxpayer. And there are no financial strings attached to our candidates. They will be paying their own deposits and their own expenses during this election. We're proud to say that our party doesn't depend on the financial support of trade unions or tax-fiddling jet-set friends. Our candidates, if elected, will stand up for their constituents and for England. A vote for the English Democrats is a vote to clear up this mess, to drain the cesspool that Westminster has become, to restore pride in our nation, to restore belief in politicians and to rebalance our economy. The famous port of Dover is the largest British port still owned by the state. Yet, plans are afoot to sell it to the French. Meanwhile, the French protect their companies from foreign takeovers. We believe that our industrial assets must be protected, not sold off for short-term gain. We want our economy to benefit from trade ties with Europe, but we don't want it weighed down by the rules, regulations and red tape of Brussels. The English Democrats believe that our country should leave the European Union whilst maintaining trade relationships. If voted in, we will immediately hold a referendum on EU membership and urge an end to the current situation. Let's be honest, mass immigration is out of control. England is now the most densely populated country in Europe, with over 1,000 people per square mile. We can no longer afford to keep opening our doors to immigrants. That's why we support a points system, like Canada and Australia. Points are awarded for the likes of education, financial independence and the ability to speak English. It's not about race or religion. It's just a fair system designed to save money and reduce the burden on the English taxpayer. Oh, and there's one other proposal that I'm sure you'll all support, an extra bank holiday. We're proposing a national holiday on St George's Day, April the 23rd, every year. If the Scots can take an extra bank holiday to celebrate their patron saint and their culture, then why can't we? After all, England is the oldest nation-state in Europe, and we have plenty to be proud of. A vote for the English Democrats is a vote for a party that's free from the corruption that's tainted Westminster. A party with common sense policies. A party that's dedicated to putting England first. So vote for the English Democrats. We're not left, we're not right, we're just English.